You're the narrator.
Okay. So
I'm the comedy sidekick.
you're the comic relief?
Yeah.
Is that what it
I'm
is?
the sidekick, yeah.
Yeah, the comedy sidekick. Well, you need to work on your game a little
I'm
bit.
your wingman, dear.
Well, it's November 5th, and we're in the Congaree National Park. And we're going to do the Weston Lake Trail.
Yes. The Congaree National Park is right outside of Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah. Well, I think it's right in.
No, it's outside.
No, it's just outside, yeah. It is a national park because of the fact that it's a river basin ecological system that's very unique with the cypress trees and things like that. And it also is known for the seasonal migration of some sort of firefly, and I don't remember the name of them. I'll put it up on the screen. But there's some sort of firefly that migrates here and breeds once a year, and there's a big to-do and everything about it. And the local baseball team is called the Fireflies, and things like that.
Also one of the last stands of old-growth forest that's been preserved in South Carolina.
And it's also a breeding ground for mosquitoes.
And snakes.
And the mosquitoes are very bad here during the summer.
And snakes.
During the summer months, it's very mosquito-y.
Yeah, we don't come down here in the summer.
No, it's full of cottonmouths.
Tourists.
And tourists. There's a boardwalk that you can stay on. We're currently on it, going towards the Weston Lake Trail. But you can stay on the boardwalk the entire time, which keeps your feet out of the water. And as you can see, I mean, this is all just swampland. This is obviously a floodplain for the river, the Congaree River, which is, I don't know, 4 miles that way.
Yeah.
So the boardwalk keeps you up off of that. The parking lot was about, I don't know, 4/5 full when we came in. It was pretty full.
Yeah.
There
is a campground here.
Yeah, it's a campground.
Not an RV campground, it's a tent campground.
Yeah, you have to walk into it. It's a quarter mile off the parking lot. But we don't come down here during the summer. We come down in the winter.
Gotta wait till after the first frost.
Yeah, there's no mosquitoes, less chance of snakes. I mean, it was 45 when we pulled in a little bit ago. One of the things that's very prevalent in this area is feral hogs. This kind of terrain, I grew up hunting in this kind of terrain in this area, feral hogs, because this is the kind of area that they like to stay in. There's a lot of nuts, a lot of worms and grubs and things for them to eat, and
a lot of mud for them to roll in.
A lot of mud for them to roll in. They love this kind of area. And what you'll see a lot, and maybe we'll see it on the trail today, is the hogs will come through and they'll overturn the hardest ground like a plow came through. It's always been amazing to me that you come in and the ground, you know, one week you'll come into an area and the ground will just be hard as a rock. And the next week you come in and it's been completely overturned by hogs. They can overwhelm the ecosystem very easily. They have to be kept in check, which is why there's a year-long, I mean, you can hunt them year-round here.
Not in the park, though.
Yeah, but not in the park. I mean, the base on that thing it's got to be 8 feet.
Oh, it's across, yeah. Around it's probably...
Oh, yeah, it's way big around. It's 8 feet across from side to side.
About 18 to 20 feet around.
It's huge. And this whole area, look at it, all the cypress knees out there. It's a beautiful area. You just can't come into it when it's warm. When you're hunting a wild boar, this is the kind of place that you're looking for that has canes in them, because they like to nest in these canes and hang out in these canes during the day when it's warmer. They'll nest in here in these cane patches. Oh yeah, that's been turned over recently, probably maybe last night, by hogs. But you got to be careful too. Sometimes you can walk up on them if you're quiet enough, and if they're asleep or just not worried about you, you can walk up on them in here. I guess we should talk about our new pieces of gear, since we've admitted that we're gear hounds.
Yeah.
You have two new pieces of gear, actually.
Yep.
You have the Hyperlight Mountain Gear Daybreak 17 for day hikes.
Around.
All right. And that's a Z-Packs water bottle holder. You have a Kula cloth for those moments when you need to step off the trail. Yep. You have a cloth. I bought the Daybreak pack knowing that it probably wasn't going to fit me properly. I was debating between it and the Elevate 22, and I knew that if I bought the 17 and it didn't fit me right, that you would like it, and that turned out to be the case. Didn't fit me. It fit me okay. I could have gotten by with it, but it just wasn't all the way right. You tried it on and you were like, hey, thanks for the new pack, sucker. So look at the size of that tree. Walk over there. Look at the size of that thing. That's a pine tree. And it's got to be 90 feet high. It is. Look at the size of that beast. Hey, we just stepped off the boardwalk. We're now on the Weston Lake Loop Trail. And it's going to take us around that, which is Weston Lake. It's got a little current to it, but it's mostly stagnant, real slow moving, which allows the leaves to settle and deteriorate into sediment. Yes, there's a lot of tannin in that water. It would be very, very unwise to drink of that water unfiltered. Okay, we're stepping off the trail for a moment.
Yes.
There's a lot of cypress knees on the ground here. You got to be careful. We're going to go over here and take a look at this. They call it a lake?
Lake Weston.
Yeah, but it's somewhat tidal based on the floodplain, but it is just a body of water, very stagnant. As I said before, it's very still, but it maintains pretty much all year round like this, and it is full of snakes, I'm sure, and gators, and turtles and fish. And this is why you come out in nature, to see things like this. And the smell here is, I wish the camera had smell-o-vision. It's not necessarily a fresh smell or a dirty smell. It's a swamp smell.
Yeah, it's not even musty. It's kind of like, the word I use is dank.
Yes, you can smell
Things rotting.
vegetation decomposition and stuff like that, but it's not a dirty or a gross smell. It's a swampy smell. Yeah, any swamp is going to smell like this. These cypress knees down here, if you're not paying attention, I don't know if the camera's seeing that. If you're not paying attention to those things, they will mess up your day. Because if you trip and fall on top of one of them, I'm betting it'll cause some sort of traumatic injury. This is a well-maintained bridge. It's maintained by a Boy Scout troop, 199. So the local Boy Scout troop maintains this bridge. They've done a really good job. There's no rotten timbers or anything in it. I can see there's some that's been replaced recently. I think this is where the pigs were. So if you look right here, you can see this is all fresh. Yeah, this is where they were. This is all fresh, where they just turned over this earth looking for bugs and stuff. So they were right here. You can see where they were scruffling around. and they ran that direction from those people. And that's when we saw them. We were over to the right, and they ran. There's a little tributary of water right there that they splashed through, and then another one a little farther up, but they ran that direction. This is where they were. So here we're coming up to the crossroads of several trails. We're taking the Weston Loop, so we're going to make a right. Look at this hollow log. That's pretty cool. The chupacabra is going to come up out of that. And that whole area right there has been turned over recently. All those logs and stuff were flipped over, and that dirt was dug up by hogs looking for bugs and beetles and grubs and things. Well, they're not far up in there. You see him? He's right there. There's one. There's another one over here. There's a brown one right there. So there's a brown one. Come here. See him? There's a brown one right there. There's another one closer to us in those canes over there. These are small. These are little ones. Looks like they're this year's. Wonder where their mama's at and their dad's. They usually stay around in packs. You see him?
Yeah.
It's odd that we're seeing these little ones without mom or dad. Oh, there it is. I see. I see now. See right there? That's the mama pig. She was laying down over here in these canes. The little ones were over there, scuffling around, eating and stuff. She will get defensive. Here comes another one over here to the left. She will get defensive. There's another one right over there. He's right through there. You see him? That's the mama pig right there. Yeah, those were the babies. That's mama pig. This might be daddy over here to the left. He sees me. So that's a boar. Don't move. Yes. These are, I don't know what these are, but I've seen Russian boars that are 200, 250 pounds. Big ones. And you can see they've been all in here. They've been all up in here scooting this stuff around. See that right there?
Yep. Boar poop.
That's boar poop. It's poop. That was pretty cool. He was, what, 50 feet?
Mm-hmm.
He was pretty close. That was a big old tree. I mean, that's 3.5, 4 feet around. That's right at my waist. That's why we get out in nature, to see stuff like that. It's one thing to see it on TV, but when you're 50 foot from the animal, it's a totally different thing when you're actually right there with the animal in his environment. And he looks up and sees you. Yeah, he wasn't a bit worried about me. He was wondering if he could get past me to get to you. Then he thought better of it. He thought about it for a second and he's like, nah, it's not worth it. Have some lumber stacked up here to do some work on the bridge to the river trail. Yeah, that way takes you to the river. And, looks like they got some lumber set out here to do some maintenance on that. We're back on the boardwalk. Headed back to the parking area. And we got to see some pigs, which was pretty cool. So I guess we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. Get out of nature. Worst thing that can happen, you can turn into pig poop. We'll catch you on the next one.